Welcome to Wave Manga. I am Agent Manga and One Punch Man. Finally, I'm sorry it took me so long to bring this video out, but I just couldn't find my sunglasses and I did not want to make another video without sunglasses, so I just decided, to wait until I found them, which it took me this long to find them, which has kind of annoyed me. But I'm fine with it. I'm fine with waiting this long just to do the review, just to get these damn things. Because I saw my eyes and when I was editing the video and it was all over the place. I knew they'd be all over the place, but still it looked bad. So I'm just going to get into this review as soon as possible, which is now. And this is chapters 130 to 132. And basically this starts off with the Hero Association telling Tatsumaki about this new group of espers that are trying to basically take over the world. So are they connected to Psychos in any way, and maybe God in maybe another way? And definitely Tatsumaki knows some of these members of this group called 11. I don't think they're important personally. I think this part of the chapter is just mainly This part of the chapter is mainly just just to get Tatsumaki out of the picture, because of at the end of these 3 chapters just reveals something pretty good, which explains a lot, which it gets rid of some of the S-class, but this part really just is getting rid of Tatsumaki just to deal with these 11 espers. I don't know how powerful they are. I don't feel like they're going to be important right now. I think it's mainly right now just to get rid of Tatsumaki. And then we cut over to Flashy Flash in a similar meeting with the Heroes Association about this other ninja group that is basically all about eliminating the weak and not going after the strong, because I guess they think might makes right. Yeah, it's a fine thing for villains, but it's kind of different. If they want the mighty to be on top, why aren't they going after those who consider themselves strong, like the lower ranking heroes? I get all the people who are trying to make the world mighty is all going after the weaklings and making it all strong, but why are they just targeting weak people? Why not people who are claiming to be strong? And Flashy Flash mentions that his ninja village was basically at war with this one, and not to associate with them at all, but since he basically said screw you and killed quite a few of them, I'm guessing he has had a few interactions with them, so that's why they're sending him after him. And then we also get Flashy Flash basically saying, yeah, I kind of respect the Neo heroes more than regular heroes because they keep damage to a minimum, they train their guys, and there's no real heroes that are popular anymore with the My Mask on. So it's a lot of things are going for the Neo heroes, and it's just a lot is going to their side instead of the Hero Association. I'm saying the Hero Association is corrupt as hell, but kinda the Neo heroes are becoming more corrupt. And it's just we get to see all the other S-class basically either training or going on missions. Atomic is being basically, I think, get kicked out of this arc since he's going with his disciples into the mountains to train, so I think they're going to be out of the conflict that's coming up. Pig God is, I think, just eating food, so he's probably getting more powerful, I'm guessing. We see Metal Knight in his laboratory with people being suspicious about Metal Knight. Metal Knight is not the enemy, Drive Knight is. We got this all explained. Drive Knight is the evil one. Drive Knight. I still can't believe he's manipulating all these people, and that's what they want. He's gonna be a big focus in this arc. And then we see Watchdog Man, and he's just doing Watchdog Man stuff. And then King is, they talk about how King has disappeared, probably to train Atomic Samurai, and he's not wrong. King is doing push-ups, which is probably more than he's ever done in his life. Then we see Zombie Man, he disappeared off the beaten track, and he's with Dr. Genus in like training somehow. Like he's all bloodied, his arm is missing, he's throwing up blood. Pretty gory scene, and it's just like Dr. Genus is right behind him with his glasses just concealing his eyes. So this is definitely making Zombie Man more powerful, but I'm thinking that there's something sus going on. Then we see Drive Knight decapitating a monster. I bet he's just collecting cells or information, like this monster had something that Drive Knight wanted, so off with his head. And then we see Putty Putty Prisoner basically training all his dudes to be, well, it's explained later on that he basically does call Darkshine, who's with the Neo Heroes, to see if he can help him train his dudes. Then we see all the sleazy guys in the Neo Heroes just talking about the upgrades. Then we see Child Emperor examining a giant worm. I think this was a dragon level one that Blue took down, and he like finds a computer chip in its neck or head somewhere that was basically helping it to be controlled, which basically explains why there were so many monsters. If they had chips in their necks, somebody was controlling them. That was like my big problem with with all those monster attacks in the previous set of chapters. There was no explanation. That's why I hated those chapters, because it was build up to the Monster Association, but there was no build up to all these monsters. Now there is an explanation, which I'm fine with. It retroactively makes those chapters better. And then we see like the pop idol who basically works for the Neo Heroes come up behind Child Emperor. Well, not behind him, she's just like walking beside the monster, which is behind him. And then like the guys who were supposed to be dead, like the rich guy and the psychic guy, they're both alive. And we get an explanation on how the hell they are alive, but it makes sense on what's happening. And at the end of this chapter, it's basically just Metalback saying, hey, got a sec? It's just, he wants an explanation on why they were carrying away, like, the two guys who I just mentioned who got basically mortally injured by monsters. And I can understand why he's doing it. Like, Metalbat is a bro who does not deal with this type of stuff. He wants to get to the bottom of this stuff. He wants to know what the hell he's getting into. And it's explained that it's basically a cyborg initiative, and all those who have been damaged in fights have been being able to be saved by just transplanting their bodies, as long as the brain is okay. That's the thing, that's like the one thing that they can't be damaged to fix, which is kind of like how Genos is only a brain, so maybe connection. I do not trust Dr. Bufoy. I think he's hiding something. Because my own personal theory, I do not trust Dr. Bufoy. He's either with the organization, not telling Genos everything, or there's something that he's hiding. And if the brain is damaged, I get it. So I'm guessing there's going to be a lot of headshotting in this future arc, because they can fix any damage that, as long as it's not to the brain, which is kind of making them zombies, I have to admit. And then these two are basically just explaining some stuff to Metalbat on what the hell they were doing to those guys, and want to show Metalbat on what's going on. And then Pop Star from the previous chapter comes up behind Child Emperor and just starts talking to him. And she explains that, yeah, she was an idol and she did train physically to try to get more powerful, but she just couldn't get strong enough to even apply for the Heroes Association. But then she was able to join the Neo Heroes because they gave an operation to her, which is enhanced. And that basically means that she might not be completely bad, which I'm assuming the Neo Heroes throughout these chapters are shown to be really goddamn bad, are like the bad guys in this arc, and I think they're connected to the organization. I don't think it's like, I don't think it's just like, oh, it's a big secret, but I think it's pretty obvious that these guys are definitely, like after these chapters, it's definitely confirmed that they're connected to the organization. Well, in my head it is. And she's talking to Child Emperor, just trying to figure out what the hell is going on. She got modified after she couldn't get powerful enough to even become a C-class hero, which, yeesh. But then we cut to Darkshine basically training his guys, because after the fight with Garrow, he's not really that focused on fighting, because all his confidence has been shot. All he can do is really train other people, and Darkshine is just like he's not wearing his Speedo anymore, he's wearing a shirt and pants, and he's just like having all his guys train and like build up muscle, drinking juice and doing all this. And it has my favorite line of all this chapter. It had Darkshine gets a call on his phone. He says, "Hello, who is this?" And Putty Putty Prisoner says, "Oh, Darkchan, how are you?" And Darkshine's like, "Putty Putty Prisoner, how did you get my phone number? How did you get this phone number?" It's like, it's not even touched on anymore. It's just like, "Oh yeah, Darkshine, I kinda need your help with training my guys and making them more confident." And like Darkshine says, "I can help with the physical aspect of training. He can't work with the mental since he can't really focus on it himself." Then Metalbat is shown to the recovery room, which is basically where they upgrade people and make them stronger into cyborgs, basically. And Metalbat is just going straight out there and saying, "I couldn't even tell if you're doing anything wrong. I just couldn't. So I don't know if you're doing anything bad or not, so I'm just gonna let you off." But then he gets attacked by those two cyborg guys from the fighting ring, who seem to have been upgraded by what I've seen, and they also had the powered suits, which I'd have to say, since they surprise attacked Metalbat, and Metalbat is trying to follow the rules. He's like trying to ask them, "Hey, do you mind dealing with these guys? These guys are attacking me. They're not following the rules." It's like, I think they do defeat, no wait, they don't. They don't defeat Metalbat, but it's never really touched on in any of the chapters. In like the last chapter, what happened to Metalbat? Like, I think he's still fighting these guys who seem to be way more powerful, because they were having a hard time with Suriryu, and I think like Metalbat is around Suriryu's level, and it's just like these two are really either trouncing Metalbat or just like, I think it was just the surprise attack and him not really focusing. But with his fighting spirit, we know that he gets gradually stronger, so probably after that beating, he's probably able to defeat these two. But it's not touched on in the last chapter, which is the last thing which is the last part, because at the end of the chapter, up the end of the chapter 131, Metalbat just stands up and gets ready to fight, but it's not touched on, which I have to say is kinda not great. And then the pop star just jumps off and goes away from Child Emperor after giving some explanation on basically what her thoughts are on the world. And then I think she's gonna have a redemption arc. I think she is going to become evil and all that, and I think she is going to get a redemption arc just to make her a better person. Or like, she's very much a cyborg, so I'm thinking you're gonna have to reprogram her. But like, for the rest of this chapter, it's like the Neo heroes, like we get to see Sonic in this chapter, and he's up against basically the A-class bounty guy who is a part of the Neo heroes, and I think like for the rest of this chapter, it's just like the Neo heroes going after like all the other heroes. Like they went after Putty Prisoner. Like they're going after other high targets. And like Sonic does not bow to this guy, because Sonic has an S-class bounty and this guy only has an A-class bounty. I'm pretty sure this guy does have a high A-class bounty, but it's not as high as, say, Sonic's. And there's also, I think this guy's been like recovered and reconverted. I can't remember the name. And he just like changes it, and he has like all his guys just to fight. Although Sonic does use like a new technique, which he probably learned from the Ninja Scrolls. I don't get this guy's weapon. Like, it's a stick with 2 tiny daggers on it. I don't get how they're effective. I just hate this guy's weapon. It's annoying. Then we cut back to Saitama basically being a numbskull with the better rights for heroes' names, which Saitama. Well, then we cut to just Putty Prisoner with his boys, who just took down a wolf-level monster. The best way I can describe this guy is just a guy without a shirt, boxes, with claws, and like, I don't know, they like, it looks like scarves covering his face and only 2 eyes are showing. And we also get to see Hammerhead in this chapter, which means last time we saw Hammerhead was like at the fight of Boros, or was that just an anime thing? I think that was the last time we saw Hammerhead, but it seems like he got arrested. But then like Putty Prisoner's gang, who broke out of prison, so I understand why the Neo heroes are going after this, after Putty Prisoner, is he is a criminal and he did release all his criminal guys to deal with monsters, but Raiden, who shows up to deal with him, and Putty Prisoner is willing to take him down. It's just Raiden is nearly as powerful as Darkshine, so that's gonna be difficult. And then we get Suriryu basically saying that he found the hero hunter Garo. Well, he doesn't say Garo, but he says he's after the hero hunter. He found the hero hunter, which all we see is like this guy carrying a whole bunch of boxes. So last time we saw Garo was after like when King was going after like his enlightenment thing, and Garo was underneath that waterfall after the Monster Association arc, after he became a Waking Garo, which means that we haven't seen him since the end of the Monster Association arc, and I thought Garo was just going to become like I wouldn't say throwaway character, but I would say that he wouldn't be that relevant to the story anymore. But since he is coming back, he's probably just going to become like a side character, kind of like a Vegeta, but I don't think Garo is thirsting for power anymore, since he's basically just a delivery guy. He's still carrying 3 boxes, which I don't know. It's like supposed to show that he's above all the other guys. But he's definitely taken down all these. He's probably at his demon level, but not awakened, not pre-war. I'm gonna say Red Garo. He's not at the level of Red Garo, but he's still near that level. He's just like at the peak of when he was just Hero Hunter Garo. There's so many different Garos. But besides that, that's the chapter, and this is definitely setting up like a fight between all the heroes in this series, like a fight against Putty Prisoner. I think might be the startings of a battle. Like Garo, definitely, it'd be fine with all the others except for Garo. I mean for Putty Prisoner. Any others, they'd be fine, but the Neo heroes are going after a hero of the Hero Association, which means that's definitely war, I'm saying. And there's nothing else to really mention, but there's definitely war coming, and the organization is definitely behind the Neo heroes, which makes me kind of suspicious on Blue. And his origins, is he really the son of Blast? I don't know. I don't know if I trust him or not anymore with the information we got in these 3 chapters. But besides that, like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications, and have a nice day. This is Webmaker. I'm Adrian Manga signing out.